What is going on, YouTube? It is Primitive here, and today I'm going to be bringing you one of the most recent RMC Locals finals. It's going to be between myself. On the left, I am going to be playing Imperialdramon, and then on the right, we are going to be having the Armor Rush. Now, despite what a lot of people say about Rapidmon being Imperial's worst matchup, I strongly disagree. I think Armor Rush is much harder of a matchup. The card Fire Rocket gives so much advantage to this deck, being able to get early checks, and it's very hard to stabilize. So if my opponent does go crazy, it's going to be very hard for me to stabilize up. So going through the early game here, my opponent does make a mistake right here. They Hammer Sparked up to 4, and then right after they played it, they said they thought I put them to 2, not 3, but I did put them to the 3 with the Davis. So an accidental misused Hammer Spark there is an unfortunate way to start off the game, because that is a pretty good amount of value. Hammer Spark is a good card. You don't really want to just be using them for no reason. They do have the blue memory boost down, which means that they can get more memory later, but still it is just going to be a dead card because they are going to Vmon down to 1, and then they're just going to play the Ragermon for 2, which is going to put me at 3, so no use from the Hammer Spark there. I'm going to promote the XV, swing with jamming. I do get to draw with the jamming here, and now I'm just going to go ahead and DNA Digivolve up into Imperialdramon, start to get going, be able to bottom deck the Vmon, and then I'll be able to swing unsuspend to draw 2 cards thanks to the Demi Vmon as well as the Stingmon. And now I just got to go on the offensive here. I want to outrush my opponent. Going to go with the blue memory boost. I am going to go ahead and grab the Fighter Mode here. Fighter Mode is a very strong card, especially with HPD in hand, being able to essentially just for free be able to bounce something with 10k or less, and then having the extremely strong effect of Fighter Mode to be able to suspend any of my opponent's Digimon is going to make it so I have pretty good board control here. I didn't swing in the second time with the Imperialdramon there just because I was worried about them potentially going into Magnamon, being able to use something like Armor Texture, go up into Magnamon, be at 9k or higher, and swing over my Imperialdramon. It's not really worth the draw, the risk of me losing my Imperialdramon, so just leaving it unsuspended there is going to be fine. We're going to see 2 Ragermons come out here, but as we saw, I do have HPD in hand. I drew it very early in the game, so if I wanted to, I could very easily go ahead and HPD up here, be able to bounce one of the Ragermons and then leave the other one there. So I'm going to go ahead and swing unsuspend. That way I can Armor Purge one of the Ragermon and then be able to go over it. I do want to HPD up into Fighter Mode this turn. I'm just trying to find a way to clear it. I don't know if I'm going actually honestly about it the best way. I do go ahead and go into the Ragermon so that way I can swing over the Vmon and then pop my blue memory boost to play out the Stingmon, so that way I can tab it to HPD and then bounce back with the Ragermon. So I do get to clear the board, and I do get 2 swings right here. I'm not 100% sure if going with the Ragermon to swing over and then playing the Stingmon and all that to HPD was the optimal play, but it did end up working out. And then I'm just going to go ahead and Hammer Spark, put my opponent at 2 here. That's going to make it so that way if they want to do something like play Magnamon or even play just a 3-drop Vmon, they're going to have to pop blue memory boost to be able to do so. And I'm okay with trading a Hammer Spark for a blue memory boost, but they draw Digivolve, draw again, and see that they don't have an out, so they are just going to scoop it up and go into game 2. So starting off, they do give me 4 with Davis, so that is a lot of memory to give me. That means if I have my own memory tamer, I can go ahead and play it out and keep turn. So I'm going to Digivolve up, going to go with the blue memory boost here. Only hit 1 target, putting Daviskin and 2 options to the bottom, so not great, but being able to have the blue memory boost is going to be nice for later memory turns. And then going to play out the SD9 Vmon so I can search. I want to find X Vmon and Stingmon, so that way I can get up into my Imperialdramon and whatnot. And then my opponent swings into the Hammer Spark, putting them at 1, which is actually very nice because that's really going to limit them being able to go wide or anything like that. But the Ragermon for 2 memory is going to just put me at 1, which isn't great. I can go up to 3 with the blue memory boost, but I need X Vmon and Stingmon to really get going here. I'm going to pop blue memory boost here so that way I can at least Digivolve up. I do draw into the Lobomon right there, so if I had another Hammer Spark, then I could go up on top of this Vmon and potentially start to DNA Digivolve, but I don't. So I'm thinking about what I want to do here. I decided to go with the Chimera, so that way my opponent's going to go to 3 anyway, and now I'm going to be able to give them the -3, so that way if they do swing, they will probably Armor Purge and then go down to the -3k DP. So we'll have to see what they want to go for here. They actually decide to commit the Fire Rocket and just decide that it's worth going in for the swing. So they're going to hit Mimi, and then they're going to hit Madoki. Since it is at -3, it's just at 2, and then they're going to go ahead and go down. The Jamming Vmon will go down as well. So Chimeramon coming through, but they were able to get the 2 checks, so it's not really that big of a deal. Just being able to get the 2 Fire Rocket checks is extremely powerful in itself. So hitting the Mimi is going to be good because I do get some extra aggression, but as of right now, I'm falling super far behind. I haven't taken really any checks yet, and swinging right now isn't really going to be super ideal for me either with this Ice Wall up. I do finally hit the X Vmon, which is nice, so now I'm 4 Digimon wide, and I'm going to be able to have the jamming Vmon, but it's not really going to matter because my opponent's going to Fire Rocket once again and be able to use Armor Texture to go into another Imperialdramon and then just swing in for game. So this is what I was saying, the Armor Rush, just being able to go in with the Fire Rocket is much harder for Imperialdramon to deal with than a lot of other decks or cards, and when they do it back-to-back turns in a row and you don't have an answer like Magnamon, then it is very hard for you to catch up or even just stabilize. So I'm just going to have to take that L and then go into game 3. So I got the XV in the back. I still don't have Stingmon or anything, so I'm just going to play out Davis Ken. It's going to allow me to get a little bit more memory going in. They have the Flamedramon. They're going to go ahead and swing. It does survive the check because it's 8k, so honestly not a lot of things that are going to make it armor purge down, but I really needed it to armor purge down just because this is a big body at 4k with XVmon. I am not swinging over this in any way, so hurting right now. I do have the Stingmon and everything in the hand. I just don't have the memory, and I don't really want to promote and then play it out because there is Ragemon, so they could just suspend my XVmon or my Stingmon, and then I would be in very big trouble. So we're going with another Fire Rocket here. Going to be able to swing, going to be able to draw with the Upa as well as the Vmon there. Does armor purge down because it hits the Chimeramon, but they do have the option to potentially go into like Magna to unsuspend or something like that. But with how much advantage they have right now, unless I go into something like Chimera to be able to clear a wide board, then I'm not going to really be able to do much here. So they're going to go into Magna, unsuspend, put me at 2, and this is terrible now because it is sitting at 9k or maybe even 11k, I believe 9k, which means that I cannot get over this with Imperialdramon, so I can play Ragemon to suspend it and then go up into the Imperialdramon right here to bottom deck the Vmon. But since the Magna is at 9 or higher k, I cannot swing into it, which means I can't get rid of it on the board, which means that they have another Digimon that is essentially guaranteed to be able to swing in for a check, and then if it does survive, then we're going to be able to go with the Armor Texture as well. So there's nothing I can really do there. I don't have Chimeramon, I don't have Blocker, there's nothing I can go over, I don't have Fighter Mode, so they're just going to swing, and then they're going to go with the Magna. When Digivolving, it does unsuspend that Vmon, which means that they can just go ahead and swing for game. So Armor Rush is going to be able to take it. Very well played to my opponent, understanding their win condition versus Imperial being able to go so aggressive and have those Magnamons come in at such crucial timing. But with that being said, if you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe because I'll be bringing you even more BT8 content, and I hope you have a fantastic day. I will catch you next time. Peace out.